The following events were recorded as they happened at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. On this episode of Life's Little Miracles, Taylor's skull reconstruction, Leanne's thumb surgery, Noah and Aaron's fatal food allergies, and Hawaz's kidney transplant.
He don't have a free life right now. He can't go anywhere, just like basically just school to hospital, that's it. But when he have a kidney, he have a free life.
Last year, 17-year-old Hawaz underwent surgery to remove both his kidneys, which had been damaged by focal sclerosis, or FSGS. He has had to depend on dialysis to survive. After months of waiting on the transplant list, he has agreed to allow his mother to donate one of her kidneys.
So you excited about the big day?
Nervous.
The transplant is 24 hours away, and today Hawaz has a final checkup to ensure he is healthy.
36.6. Good job. So I'm just gonna let the doctor know that you're here.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm just waiting for tomorrow and that's it. Everything will be done. I'm happy to do it. So I'm not that nervous. It's something I'm looking forward to do.
It's like right now I just can't eat certain food and stuff, but after I can do anything I want, basically.
He don't have a free life right now. He had to come back basically 3 times a week. He don't have, he can't go anywhere, just basically just school to hospital, that's it. But when he have a kidney, he have a free life.
Probably the most important thing with Hawaz is we know that his underlying problem that caused him to damage his kidneys is this thing that's called focal sclerosis, where you get some little scars in the kidney. And we know that in some people that can come back in the transplant kidney. If it's an immunological problem, if it's your body producing these chemicals that affect the kidney, taking out the kidneys may not alter that. And when you put a new kidney in, the same thing may happen. So what we do is right from the very beginning, we watch your urine very closely, looking for protein in the urine.
So he's okay?
He's
okay.
okay.
All the tests?
Yeah.
Everybody's okay?
Yeah.
So what's my job?
Your job. Try and get some sleep tonight. And then your job is to sit in the waiting room and wait.
Thank you very much.
You've got the hard job, you know that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
2-year-old Taylor was born with metopic synostosis, a premature closing of the bones in his forehead.
The elevator. So it's not cold in your chest, and then I'm going to listen.
As a result, Taylor's brain is under increased pressure, and his forehead has a triangular shape.
You're doing really well. So we're just going to sit you on the scales, okay? We'll do 1, 2, 3, up you go. Oh, we're going to sit down, or we're going to stand?
Today, Taylor will undergo major surgery to reconstruct his forehead.
Don't give Ali a heart attack.
I'm feeling very nervous right now. I almost called it off last night. We were sitting in the restaurant eating, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting him through it. But changed my mind.
Hello.
Good morning. Taylor, how are you this morning?
Seriously debating.
Taylor, do you remember Dr. Forrest?
How you doing?
That's the one you get.
He has a condition called trigonocephaly, or metopic suture synostosis. And we've talked about this in the past, and this is a condition whereby the sutures that allow for the growth of the skull have fused prematurely. And in Taylor's case, this is just a plastic skull, but in Taylor's case, there's a line that supposedly runs down the forehead here. And for some reason, this line has fused prematurely, and so what's happened is, as a result, Taylor's forehead has grown in a very sort of pointed fashion. He's got a triangular shape. Okay. The reason that we're doing surgery on Taylor is that as he continues to grow, this will not improve. And if he's left with this type of a head shape when he's a teenager, it's really going to cause him a lot of psychosocial concern. So essentially what we're going to be doing today is we'll make an incision across the top of the head, we'll lift off the skin, And then we'll make a cut across the top of the eye sockets, and essentially we'll change a triangle to a rectangle. And we'll make the eye sockets come forward and then reshape the entire forehead. This is considered a major operation, and with major operation there are potential risks that we have to worry about. The biggest risk to Taylor is that of bleeding, because he's such a small little guy. He really can't tolerate losing much blood. It would be very unusual not to need a blood transfusion as a result of the surgery. Is that okay? Okay. All right. Well, listen, we'll see you downstairs.
It is Hawaz and his mother's surgery day. Hawaz's mother will have her surgery first.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm happy to do it, but basically this happened time like this, right? It's hard. I just want everything to be okay for him. At first it was hard for me. At first I put it on. I make the decision and I told him I'm gonna do it, and then a month after I call him back and I cancel it because Hawaz doesn't want me to do it. One day I just think about it and I said that there is God and I have to live my trust in God. You might live with one.
The OR team is ready for Taylor.
I don't want to go. Oh, big hugs.
A little bit soft on them.
I love you. Hey, look at me. Say I love you. Good boy.
Mommy.
I love you.
Come with me? Oh, okay. What a nice boy. Okay, Big Taylor, off we go.
Bye-bye.
Take good care, guys.
Love you.
This is where he freaks out. Bye-bye.
Just blow by his face. Doesn't have to be very high.
Wow, you're a spaceman. Look at you.
So the plan today will be to cut across the forehead and then get rid of this very prominent ridge in the forehead by reshaping the entire skull with great care to protect the underlying brain.
Say that. That's really true.
The team begins by making an incision across Taylor's scalp to expose his forehead so the bone can be removed.
A couple of pickups, please, Marie. Portrait.
Hawaz takes his mother to the OR waiting room for a last meeting with her surgeon.
Good morning. How are you? How are you feeling today? Okay?
I'm all right.
Excellent. You're not nervous or anything, are you?
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take you over to the monitor. I want to show you the side that we're approaching with.
Okay.
So this is the main artery of your body. This is called the aorta. This is your right kidney, and this is your left kidney. To the right of this big artery, there's a big vein here running up and down your abdomen called the inferior vena cava. It covers the artery to that kidney. That artery to the kidney runs behind the IVC, that big vein. It is harder to take the right because we have to be able to dissect and get that artery from behind the big vein. So that's going to be our challenge today, to be able to get in there, get enough length of artery so that we can provide Dr. McClory with a good long artery that he can transplant.
So is she there right now?
You can come walk with us, please.
Good.
I'll take your friend here.
Yes. All the best. This is what I can do for you, okay?
Take care of the work.
You're beautiful.
Okay, so good night now, okay? Gonna go off to sleep soon.
You have a good sleep, okay? See you later.
Several years ago, brothers Aaron and Noah were diagnosed with many food allergies, some of them fatal.
I'm fatally allergic to peanuts, and we're not sure about the other nuts, but yeah, probably. And kind of allergic to dairy. I'm fairly allergic to dairy.
I'm Aaron, and I am allergic to nuts.
The boys must carry EpiPens with them at all times in case they accidentally come in contact with foods that could kill them.
So the way that this works is you take the gray cap, pull it off, stick it to our thigh, jab it into our thigh, and hold it for 15 seconds. Call 911, call like mom and dad. There's no way that you can hurt me and Noah with this. There is a way you can hurt us if you don't give it to us. If at any time, like, you think that we would need it, give it to us. Simple as that.
So, Aaron and Noah, you want to come in?
It is possible to outgrow some allergies. Today, the boys will undergo a series of tests to determine if seafood can be introduced into their diets. First phase is the skin test.
You know what, guys? We're going to lie down on the tummy, and we're going to lie down. Who's going to be first? You want to be first? Okay, so Ellen's going to be first. You want to lie down here on the tummy?
Yes.
You know what? I'll take you.
So, Erin, I'm going to explain everything that I do before I do it, okay?
I've done this before, but okay.
All right. Okay, so I need you to stay very still, okay? So we're just putting some of the extract on your back. So this particular one is lobster. This doesn't hurt. So this one is mussel. This is scallop. So we try and leave space in between them in case there is a reaction so that they don't overlap. And now I just want to mark where I put them on his skin so that I know where I'm pricking. So then I use a lancet just to break the skin. So you're going to feel a little
I know.
pinprick. Okay, so try not to move.
Hold your arms here too.
All right.
There you go.
Ah, that hurts.
That's okay. 4,
Go back up a little bit.
3, 2, 1.
All right, next.
So Noah, we're going to do the same thing in you. So I'd like you to lie down.
The boys will be assessed in 15 minutes to determine if they can move on to the next phase of testing.
I'm worried about once he hits those teenage years and that teenage mentality that I'm invincible and nothing's going to happen to me. I'm a little leery of that. He has a girlfriend who likes a girl, and she has eaten a chocolate bar with nuts in it, and then he goes and kisses her. That could be a major problem. And teenagers, you know, they live for the moment. And who's, you know, for him to stop and say, "Excuse me, before I kiss you, what did you have for lunch today?" You know, it'll pose some problems for him.
The OR team is ready for Hawaz.
You'll be all right. Here, sit. You'll be all right.
Here. And I'll give you a nice warm blanket. It might be a little chilly in this room.
Hello, Hawaz. We'll take excellent care of you. When you wake up, you have a new kidney.
Transplanting a kidney into somebody is done in a different place. One puts it in the lower part of the abdominal cavity, and what we will do is make an incision into which the kidney can fit. And this boy-mother combination are pretty well the same size. It'll involve preparing the blood vessels so they're all ready to sew in. You all set, Ross?
Yes, thank you.
We're all set.
While doctors continue to operate on his mother, Hawaz's team opens his abdomen to prepare for the transplant. Taylor's family waits for news from the operating room.
You went in at 8.
It's gonna look so much different.
He's going to look like you and Austin, because he's going to have the flatter forehead again. He's already getting the cleft chin like you and Austin.
Yeah, we'll see.
But he doesn't have your big nose.
That's right. I can live with that.
Doctors have removed the bone from Taylor's forehead and are rebuilding it.
Are you going to need another big one, do you think?
No.
No. Well, maybe. No, I think you've got enough pieces left. We're finished with the bone part, and now we're just resuspending the soft tissue, and then we're going to close the skin, and then we'll be done. We finished the surgery, and everything has gone very well. He's had a bit of an issue in terms of being able to breathe, and so what's happening is instead of the anesthetist taking out the breathing tube now at this point in time, which we would normally do, they're going to leave it in for probably a couple of hours. But what it means is that instead of going to the recovery room, he's going to go straight to the ICU. He might have it in overnight, he might have it out in a couple of hours. All depends on how he's doing. Yeah.
The allergy team checks the results of Aaron and Noah's skin tests.
Okay, so we've read all of those, right?
Yes, so he has positive responses to clam, crab, lobster, mussel. Scallop is this one, negative.
This one is definitely negative. So I think it is safe to challenge this guy with scallop, and I think it is also safe to try to challenge the other guy with scallop if we want. That's okay.
Challenging an allergy can produce deadly reactions and can only be done by an allergist in a hospital with resuscitation equipment close by.
So we take just a tiny bit, and you're just going to touch it on your tongue.
Stick your tongue right out.
Close it, that's it, and just leave it like that for a second.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm just gonna use my finger, is that okay?
That's fine.
It might be easier, Lisa.
I'm just rubbing it on his tongue like this?
Yes, that's perfect.
sweetie.
Enough of a start.
That is? Okay. There.
Just needs to be a few seconds. So we make note of the time.
Is it itchy?
You can put your tongue back in your mouth, yes. I want you to let me know if you feel any itching or rash or have any difficulty breathing or feel any swelling anywhere, okay? Because those are all signs of a reaction, and we'll need to stop at that point, all right? Otherwise, about every 15 minutes, you'll get a little bit more of a scallop to eat. Yes?
Is there any chance that mouse could kill us?
There's always a risk with doing an oral challenge that you might have a reaction.
Hawaz's family waits for news from the operating room. The team prepares to remove the kidney from Hawaz's mother.
This is the two veins. We've clamped and divided the one that was covering the artery. The arterial clamp is going on right now. Take this out too. Stay as you are, Crush. Please don't move. Okay. Okay, just stop there. Let us take this one out first.
The kidney is placed in ice to cool before it is taken to Hawaz's operating room.
We are cooling all this kidney, which will stop the cells from degrading. Okay, I am just about ready to go. I am ready to go. Thank you very much, Dr. K.
Have fun.
Actually, yesterday and today I could see the brightness in his eyes, you know. He's kind of excited. He's never been so happy. Like, he's more happy to get it done, you know. So I hope everything goes well.
Sweeping up and over once I get in the plane, I'll sweep stuff away from this.
Hawaz has been in the OR for 2 hours. His mother's kidneys, veins, and arteries are prepared for transplant.
So what I do here is I try and get us all here to visualize what is going to be going into the child. And I'll go back to you. Just take leg, pull back there.
The kidney is moved to Hawaz's abdomen.
Please ease the kidney down.
The team begins to connect the kidney to his veins and arteries.
Hold it a little bit higher, that's it.
the allergy team assesses Noah and Aaron's reaction to scallops.
So how are you feeling?
Yes.
Yes? You think we might be ready for the next step?
And now we're going to give them the last challenge, which is the big chunk of the seafood. Okay? So, this is for Noah. You want to eat it all? This is yours. Good. And this is yours. You see, they're fighting on it, huh? Go ahead. And you're going to eat the rest of the part. If there is no immediate reaction, we're going to say goodbye, and we're going to say those guys can go ahead and eat those food without having any problems. Okay?
Okay, so how are you guys feeling?
Fine.
Fine? No difficulty breathing, swelling, itching anywhere? All right, so the fact that they've both tolerated eating the scallop is an excellent sign, and we would feel comfortable in saying that they can have scallops at home and not be worried about having an allergy.
That's it.
You got a high five for me or no?
What about the lady doctor high five?
Right.
Aaron and Noah have successfully challenged their allergy to scallops and can add one more food choice to their diets.
The happy scallop eaters leave premises.
Three-year-old Leanne has a trigger thumb, a painful condition which causes it to lock in a bent position.
She was just having problems with it and go straight and swell and bruise. It get very painful for her. And there's times where it is bent all the way back and touches the back of her hand.
So when it does straighten, it swells and sore. She cries with it.
When she grabs things, she kind of grabs them sideways because she can't grab it like you or I would with the thumb against the finger. So she starts school this year, so.
Yeah, she starts school, so that's going to be nice. She'll have the use of it.
Today, doctors hope to repair Leanne's thumb so it is fully operational before she starts school.
Hello, how are you? Are you fine? Is your thumb still goofy? I see your goofy thumb. Which thumb is goofy? Is it this one or this one? Is it that one? That's Gumby, not Goofy. Still stuck. And none of the fingers have ever been stuck that you've ever noticed?
No.
I draw a picture on you. You ready? So we're going to operate on that thumb. Correct?
Always gonna help you.
Yes. That's sort of.
What a girl.
Okay, we'll be starting fairly soon, I think.
Hawaz's father waits for news from the operating room. Doctors remove the clamps and allow blood to flow through Hawaz's transplanted kidney.
The clamps are 30. And it's off. There's the artery pumping away. Now watch the kidney now. You can see it got blue with the vein. Now it's pinking up with the artery. And the whole kidney looks pretty well perfused. Can we fill up the bladder, please? With 100 cc's. So you can see that ureter being sewn in down in this area here. And I think you can see that we're getting flooded a bit. You just keep sewing it all dry.
The flow of urine through the kidney is a good sign that the surgery has been a success.
So everything's gone as best as we could want. Okay?
Okay.
They'll come in, it'll be a little while to put dressings on and wake him all up. That'll be another half hour or 3/4 of an hour.
Okay.
And then they'll take him over the intensive care unit. And they'll tell you when that happens. You go over and see him.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you say the kidney is working right away?
I said that. That is correct. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I heard. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good. Okay, bye-bye.
Hawaz's mother is out of the OR and starting to wake up in the recovery room.
Your wife?
You awake? You know what happened? You okay? Yeah, come now. You okay? You pee right away.
Thank God for that.
You pee. Then doctor says as soon as they put them on, you start pee. So you okay?
Thank God.
Hawaz's kidney transplant is complete.
You're doing great, Hawaz. We're just going back to the ICU now. You've got your new kidney.
Hawaz?
Hawaz, your dad is here.
Hey. How you doing? Okay? Mommy okay. Remember? Mommy's okay. Mommy asked for you.
He's peeing. Wonderful. So that's the most important thing. So it's working well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You okay? You alright? Mommy okay too? So both of you okay?
Hawaz will be carefully monitored over the next few days to make sure that the FSGS disorder does not begin to attack his new kidney.
I need to warm up.
The OR team is ready to begin Leanne's thumb repair.
We'll show that this is where Mom and Dad can wait, okay? So this is the parents waiting room right here. So say, see you later. Bye, Mom. Oh, you gonna give away? Bye. Big door to open. Here we go.
This child has a swelling in the tendon to the thumb, and it's preventing the thumb from straightening normally. So the thumb only straightens to that point and then gets stuck. It's actually a congenital problem where the tendon's a little too big and the sheath is a little too small, and it just keeps getting rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and finally gets stuck.
Doctors begin by opening Leanne's thumb to expose her tendon.
And they're going to assume that there's going to be a digital nerve there, and of course that's the point of risk. You see it there nicely? So we've got both those. Now we know for sure that this is all sheath in the middle, so we can now clear this nicely.
The team works carefully to expose Leanne's tendon. Damage to nerves could cause permanent paralysis in her thumb. It has been 1 day since Taylor's forehead reconstruction. He remains on a ventilator in the critical care unit.
Okay, right now they're going to try and extubate him, see if he'll breathe on his own. Either he'll breathe on his own or his throat will still be too swollen.
Just getting ready to get that tube out. Like I said, the hardest part's having this tape removed. Good boy. Taylor, one thing all I need you to do is cough for me, okay? When I say so. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me a big cough. Good boy. There we go. I'm just drawing that up. Let it run for about 10 minutes. Okay, great. There you go, Taylor. Some oxygen. Don't cry now. I need you to try to stay calm. Good boy. Mom and Dad are here. It's the first sort of 15 minutes, which is the most nerve-wracking.
Respiratory therapy staff will stand by to ensure Taylor continues to be able to breathe on his own. Leanne has been in surgery for 1 hour. Doctors begin to widen the sheath around her tendon.
You see we're in the sheath, you can see the tendon wiggling separately from the pulley. I'm just going to feel where the leading edge is and how tight it is. Just this has got to be done in a touchy-feely way. You can't see this far up. So you want absolute hyperextension with no restriction. Just feel that. So you can just get to the limits of as far as the volar plate will allow you to hyperextend that. Okay? The surgery went well and there were no problems. There was a big, very juicy lump in the tendon as we expected, and you could see why it was stuck. But at the end of the operation, we could straighten the thumb completely out like that. So the problem looks like it's cured. Okay?
Yep. Thank you very
Good.
much.
Take care.
You almost ready to go home?
As soon as Leanne recovers from the anesthetic, she can be discharged. She will return for a checkup in 6 weeks.
That's easier.
It has been 24 hours since Hawaz's kidney transplant.
How's your tummy feeling, huh?
It's okay.
It's okay? All right. I got some kind of bad news today to tell you and your dad that your urine shows that the protein is back in the urine. Remember we talked about how that might happen after the transplant? So what we do, this doesn't mean we give up on the kidney, okay? But then the treatment is, we do a treatment that's called plasmapheresis. What we do is we take blood out of the body, we take off the liquid part, that part is called plasma, and we give back fresh plasma to make the blood back up again. And the reason we do that is it's most likely that there's something in his blood that is some kind of chemical that's affecting the kidney, just like it did with his own kidneys, to cause the protein to come back.
So it can be stopped?
It's possible that we can turn this off, yeah.
Protein?
Yeah. So don't give up. You're a tough guy. And we're going to try this treatment and hope that it works.
Hawaz's plasma treatment is underway. His mother is well enough to visit from the general surgery unit.
What we're doing right now is we're removing his plasma from him to try to get rid of the toxin that's causing his disease, and we're replacing it with fresh frozen plasma. And we hope to remove enough of it so that we can stop the disease from reoccurring.
Two days after surgery, Taylor no longer has trouble breathing. He has healed well enough to have his surgical drainage tube removed.
I just kind of hurt him.
He'll feel a pull. Yeah. Because
Well,
they
Mommy's
didn't. Too? Dr. Forrest didn't suture it in. It's just in there, and the pressure of the head just causes it to stay in there.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah. Okay, all done, sweetie. All done. And maybe this afternoon we can get him to take a bath. Okay, and wash his hair.
My head hurts. He's been doing pretty good. He's a bit more sore today, complaining about his head, and a bit swollen everywhere. But other than that, he's pretty good. He's strong. I'm tired.
8 days after transplant, Hawaz continues to suffer setbacks. His kidney has stopped producing urine.
When's the kidney gonna start working? That's the million-dollar question. There's a few things going on. We know your disease has recurred. You knew about that. For that, we're going to continue with the plasma exchange treatments, and we do them daily for a total of 10 out of the first 12 days. That means we will finish on Saturday. I still am hopeful that this kidney can work. After 10 days of plasma exchange, if you are still not putting out any urine at all, I think then we should think about doing a kidney biopsy just to look at the kidney and see, is there anything besides the disease recurring? Is there anything else there that we're not aware of? If things pick up on their own, no biopsy. If things do not pick up, I would be thinking about a biopsy maybe on Monday. Okay? How does all that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
You understand now that I have not given up on this kidney. If I had, I wouldn't be doing all this stuff. So it's important that you still hope that it's going to work. Though I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's going to work. It's not working, and it's possible It won't. But we're not being negative yet. So I haven't quit on this kidney, so I don't want you quitting. Okay?
It has been 5 days since Taylor's forehead reconstruction.
Are you guys doing?
Well, me and Taylor are really good.
He's all dressed up. That's always a good sign. He's got his clothes on. He's got his eyes open.
Yeah.
I think. You there, Taylor? Hello.
You can see a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he was doing really well yesterday, and I think, he's even doing better today. The swelling is already starting to improve. The bruising, which is, fairly profound, it's already started. You see the color change, where it's going to go from the purple to the yellow, or to the greenish, and then the yellow as it fades out. So that don't be alarmed by that. That's totally expected. You can see it happening already.
The bruising's even lessened. It was up a lot higher on the eyelids.
Yeah. The incision all
Looks good.
looks good. If you were going to look for something, but you'd be looking for fevers, or there'd be redness. Now, incisions always get red along their edges, and these will too, especially after the next few days to next week. You'll see the edges get red. But if you see redness that starts spreading out looking like a sunburn over a big area, that would be something to look for. All right? You want to go home?
Do you want to go see Austin?
Okay, strong silent type, that's fine.
Taylor will be followed by the plastics clinic as he heals to monitor for complications. 2 weeks after transplant, Hawaz's kidney is still not producing urine. He is taken for a biopsy.
Head up this way, we'll get some fake pillows.
A tissue sample must be extracted from Hawaz's kidney. He will undergo the procedure without sedation.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. When we put the freezing in, it's like a big mosquito bite. Have you ever been bitten by a mosquito? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's going to feel like a mosquito bite first, and then it's going to sting. Okay. Yeah. It's going to sting quite a bit for about 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. Okay, and then it goes numb. Okay, that's the worst one. No, you know what? I guess they decided because you are a little bit older and you seem so nice and calm and stuff, okay, that it really will be better for you in the end, promise, okay?
Hi, Betty. How are you doing? Just going to do a quick one right here.
Peter, I'll leave your pen right there.
Okay, thank you. A little bit cold, Hawaz, okay? Okay, I'm going to tell you we're going to do something, right? Okay. Little prick now.
Mosquito bite.
Local anesthetic is injected into the biopsy site.
Freeze it. Yeah, stretch. In the hematoma, actually, but anyway. Good.
Now the biopsy sample can be taken from Hawaz's kidney.
Fire away. Get it out. Okay.
Biopsy results will determine if there is any hope Hawaz's transplanted kidney might function once again. It has been 17 days since Hawaz's transplant.
Just want to explain that we're going to be able to let you go home. That your kidney certainly is not working yet, and that's very disappointing. On the other hand, the kidney biopsy does not show anything that is irreversible. So the kidney biopsy suggests strongly that this kidney still can work. But I don't want to be, and nor can I be, too definitive on that, because unfortunately it's not working well now. But you are peeing. You were not peeing a week ago. You are peeing even a little bit now, and any is better than none. So I'm very cautiously optimistic. Now, we'll still be seeing you back here frequently because you still need your plasma exchange treatments and your dialysis until this kidney kicks in, which I think it's going to do.
I think there's hope ahead. It's lots of hope ahead for him.
All right. That's great.
2 months after surgery on her trigger thumb, Leanne returns for a checkup.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Are you playing? Are you having fun? So did she have any difficulty after her surgery?
Everything's been wonderful.
Can you come here and show me your thumb? That's cool. Let me look. That's very neat. Can you make him wiggle? Oh, he wiggles, doesn't he? Can I see the other one? Yeah. Does this one wiggle too? Cool. So you haven't seen it stuck at all?
No.
And she was fine after she got home, didn't have any complaints or problems?
You wouldn't know she had surgery on it.
Yep. Thank you very much. You've been very good. Can you give me 5 before you go? Thank you.
Wonderful. Good job.
Leanne has completely recovered from her surgery. She will be able to start school with a fully operational thumb. Taylor returns to the plastics clinic 1 month after his surgery.
Hi.
Come here, buddy.
How you doing? Oh, thank you. Thank you. And what do you think about the way things look?
I love it. I'm amazed. It looks so good. Right here,
Oh, that?
that one. It's been there since the swelling went down.
Yeah. So I'm not particularly worried about that. That will settle down.
Oh.
But you know, the head shape is looking really good. These little irregularities here will smooth out over a period of time. Otherwise, things look really good.
Thank you very
Hey,
much,
Taylor.
Dr. Forrest.
Say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.
3 months after surgery, Taylor continues to do well. His parents are thrilled with the outcome.
1 week of stress for the rest of his life.
Lifetime of beauty. Throw it. 4.
5 days after his discharge, Hawaz has an appointment with the transplant clinic.
Yeah, I want to be here for the good news part.
Yeah, good news part. Come on, good news part.
So, Hawaz, you're clearly peeing much more each day. It's increasing. So I think we'll give you a little dialysis today. It'll help get rid of some of the extra fluid that you have on board. But after that, I think we're going to try and go with just medication, and we're not going to be planning for more dialysis. The old disease is there, but I think you can see it's not affecting how well your kidney's working, because your kidney's keeping on getting better.
Okay. Well, that's a good news for December month. Start our new year.
Yeah, I think it's not quite over. We still have to deal with the disease, but if you are peeing more, life is inevitably going to be much better, much easier. So look, you go in and get yourself dialyzed in there for a couple hours and make the most of it. I'm hoping it's the last time.
That's my dream, and it's come true. Thanks.
6 weeks after his transplant, Hawaz is back home with his family. His kidney is now working.
Hawaz, he's doing fine. It was great. He's doing all right. You can see on his Nintendo game. The scariest part, I was thinking because the kidney could have worked 50-50. I just put everything behind and I just go along with it that something could happen. It could work. He's good, and next month he'll home and he'll be back to school and he'll get a normal life.
Yeah, it'd be better to go back to school.